All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. And I have not forgotten about these guys. The Washington Huskies have a game tomorrow night. It's another very late game, 8 p.m. Not thrilled about that, by the way. Just putting that out there. We people on the West Coast, we do stay up later than the guys on the East Coast. That does not mean that it's a good idea to put a football game on at 8 p.m., but whatever. I'll watch whenever they put them on. So there's not really going to be a ton to say about this game. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. This is the definition of a Division 1A team cupcake, much more so than even last week. Like last week was definitely a little bit of an early season warm-up game. This is intended to be a free win. This is intended to just be a game where you show up, you go through the motions, and you win big because you've got all the 3, 4, 5-star prospects. They've got 1-star and 0-star prospects. So I'm not going to have a ton to say about the game, but a couple of things. First, I will be doing a watch-along stream of this game tomorrow night, so if you want to hang out with me, come to the stream. Should be going live right around kickoff at 8. Usually the game actually starts later than that, but we'll start around 8, and I'll do play-by-play. I'll have the score on screen. I'm not going to be able to show the game on screen, obviously, so don't ask for that. You're not going to get it. But I am going to be doing play-by-play. I'll talk about how the team is doing. I'll talk about sequences. I'll talk about what I think I'm seeing out there, how I'm feeling about where the team stands, and we'll have a good time. And the stream goes for over 3 hours, so we're going to have plenty of time to talk about stuff that isn't Husky stuff. Now, I don't know exactly what that might be, but whatever. People come on by, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. So, I don't do a lot of Seahawks watch-alongs, but I do Huskies watch-alongs. So if you want to hang out with me watching a game, this is your opportunity to do so. Should be doing it for every Huskies game this year. If I miss one, it'll most likely only be the one. And it'll be because I'm out of town or unable to stream for some reason. Okay. So that's that. Really kind of struggling to say much about this game. The UC Davis Aggies. The UC Davis Aggies, they are a very good team for what they are, right? They were very good last year. They won most of their games. Their losses came against the actual Division 1A teams they played, like they got blown out by California. But when they lose because they are overmatched. They get beat up with their hands tied behind their back because of the circumstances of the game making it impossible. But when they're actually in a game against a team on their level like Eastern Washington, they're actually very good. Last week, they actually were down, I want to say 24-7 late in the third quarter and came back and won that game. They actually scored 24 points and were able to actually pull out the win. And they have good stuff going on. They've got good receivers. They've got a good quarterback. Pinnock led that comeback very effectively. They run the ball well. They ran the ball well last week. Even though they were down for a good chunk of that game, they still found ways to run the ball well. Like, it is a good team for the level of football that they're on. I think last year they won 9 games, and by and large, when they lose because they have one of these games where they are the cupcake. But that being said, this is definitely a game where the standards are very high for Washington to do well. Before I go any further, I want to tell you about my friends over at Sleeper. If you're not using Sleeper this year, you are missing out. Look at all the great stuff you can get up to over there. Look at all the great picks you can make. Let's make some picks for this weekend. My entry is Jahmyr Gibbs with an anytime touchdown. I think that Green Bay run defense is going to get hurt a little bit by losing Kenny Clark. I've got Malik Neighbors. I got that one on sale. He only has to get to 64 receiving yards. He could do that in one play in that Giants-Washington game that I think will be pretty high scoring. I've also got Brock Bowers over 63.5 receiving yards. Who else is Gino going to throw the ball to? And Bucky Irving with an anytime touchdown. I think that Tampa Bay-Atlanta game is going to be pretty high scoring. I say he gets in the end zone. So go check out Sleeper. Use promo code SBN, and you'll get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Like, it's not enough to just win this game. If Washington wins this game by 10 points, that's probably a sign that this season's going to be pretty bad. Like, this is more of a cupcake than, remember the Montana game several years ago where Washington, not a very hyped Washington team, but a Washington team nonetheless, a team that still had some standard, showed up week 1 and lost at home to Montana? Like, this would be worse than that. To lose this game would be worse than that. And that was one of the most embarrassing losses in program history. So I can say all the nice things I can about UC Davis because they are a good team for their level, and they've had good seasons recently, and they have some good players for the opponents they typically play. But when you're going to battle against them, it should be a simple matter of math. You should be able to run the ball all over UC Davis. We should be running for 250 yards in a game like this. Between all our running backs and Williams, 250 rushing yards. And honestly, there shouldn't even be that much passing. Because why would you need to pass when you're playing a team like the Aggies? You should be up by 21 points, 28 points at halftime, and then you're just running the clock out the rest of the way, and it's not like they can stop you anyway. It's not like you're punting the ball a bunch. So it should just be one of those games where you just pound it and pound it and pound it until the game is over. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for better pass rush, because last week I thought the pass rush was mostly invisible. I think we had 1 sack all game, and Colorado State, they're certainly better than UC Davis. They have a higher caliber of talent, a higher abilities from their best players. They actually have some real recruits over there, some higher level recruits, but they are not near the level of some of the teams we're going to be playing down the line. They're nowhere near Ohio State or Oregon. So I need Washington to show me that you can get to the quarterback against a team like this. If you can't get to the quarterback against a team like this, then who are you going to get to the quarterback against? The answer is nobody. You're dead. There's not much you can do. So I need to see some physical dominance this week. I didn't really get that last week. We got it from the running game, right? We ran the ball all over Colorado State. But other than that, it looked like a fairly even match. And honestly, looking back at that game, I still think you would say that looked like a fair fight. We won by 3 scores, but it looked like a fair fight, and that's not a great sign. So go out there, get the win, of course, but it should not be a fair fight. The matchup predictor says it all. UC Davis winning this game is considered statistically insignificant. Sub 5% is statistically insignificant. So do not be that team. Do not be that team that gets clowned on all year because of this game that they're not going to be able to escape the memory of. And win some style points while you're at it. I'm not looking for a Heisman performance from Devin Williams Jr. because, again, I don't think we're going to need to throw the ball that much, but look physically dominant in the trenches. Dominate their offensive line with your defensive line. They shouldn't be able to run the ball at all on you. If you can't stop the run consistently against UC Davis, that tells me it's going to be a long day when you play Oregon, Ohio State, even teams below them, even a team like Wazoo that doesn't look like they're going to be great this year. I would worry about that matchup. Okay, that's all I got to say. There's not much you can discuss with a game like this. It is the definition of the early season pseudo preseason game. But after this, it's for real, people. See you guys later. Bow down to Washington.